Welcome back. No cheering, no crowds. Instead, for the first time ever, the Democratic National Convention was virtual.
And joining us right now to talk about how this was achieved on the technical end is tech consultant and host of the podcast Think About This, our friend Shelly Palmer. Good morning to you, Shelly.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, doing well. So these tech teams, it's interesting. They always have a tough time setting these things up, but there were some very unique challenges this time around, Shelly.
There were a couple of things. Obviously, during the pandemic, everybody couldn't be together, which is clear. And just like we're remote, I'm up here in Connecticut in my little room, and you guys are there, and we're able to use the magic of television to talk to one another. They had to do the whole DNC that way, but obviously they didn't have crowds. One of the things I found most interesting was they streamed the DNC everywhere. It was on Twitch, it was on Amazon Prime, it was on Apple TV. Like, if you can name the streaming service, the convention was available. But what they didn't do, interestingly, was they didn't do any kind of native broadcasting. What I mean by that is when you go to Twitch, you're watching video games and people are live tweeting. When you're on Facebook Live, there is all kinds of chat and information and things happening. Here, it was basically a stream of what was the convention, and the convention itself was a technical challenge because some of it was pre-recorded and some of it was obviously live, and I think they did the best they could with a lot of moving parts, but it was not the kind of experience we're used to watching, and I'm wondering how both conventions are going to fare if last night was an indication of the difficulty, the technical difficulty of producing and distributing a massive undertaking like the DNC.
Now, Shelly, we talk a lot about cybersecurity, and can you mention and maybe explain how the DNC prepared for some of these cybersecurity attacks?
Yeah, they have a fantastic tech team at the DNC. And by the way, at the RNC too, DNC Tech, there's a website you can go to and see the entire array of tools that the DNC offers. And again, the RNC does the same thing. But in this case, the DNC offers a wide array of cybersecurity tools, of data targeting tools, support for voter registration. And all of this is done inside the context of security, because it has to be. If you think about the amount of cyber attacks that were launched last night to try and undermine what was going on, they did an unbelievable job of fending that off. There wasn't a glitch. There was not even an inkling of any of that last night. And you have to hand it to the tech team, because this was let's just say this was a target for every hacker that wanted to disrupt our process last night. And I think they did an amazing job fending that stuff off.
Shelly, the tech team is responsible for obviously controlling what information gets out there, but also stopping misinformation. So how do they go about that?
Look, as best anyone can, there is a repository of appropriate tools. There is a bunch of what they call listening posts, where they go out and look for misinformation to flag it where it can be dealt with. However, the people who want to deal with misinformation will deal with it. So there's an entire technical infrastructure. Like I said, they're called listening posts. And look, we all use them, but they use them a lot more meticulously when it comes to political rhetoric.
Shelly Palmer, great to see you. Thanks so much.
You got it. Talk soon.